Was he today? I know he didn't do any contact, but did he seem any sort of days? Did he seem like his normal self?
I really was coaching the guys out there. I see him on the start line, just make sure he's paying attention. But I wasn't. My focus wasn't on him. It was on the guys practicing.
Any concern that he won't play on Saturday, or are you expecting to be?
You know, you never know how these things go. I guess you gotta get an evaluation tomorrow and just see where he's at, see how much he improves.
Would you say Exum is closer now, and do you think he'll go this week?
I'm pretty positive Exum's going to go. You know, I know he feels excited. He's going to start the game, and then we'll evaluate him from there and see where he's going. But he's definitely prepared mentally and physically to start the game here.
Do you talk? I mean, it's going to be probably a pretty emotional experience for him getting back on the field. Do you talk to him about that at all? Do you worry about that at all? Just
not at this point. Not at this point. That'll be a conversation for a Friday or Saturday morning or something like that, just to, you know, hey, keep it all in perspective and channel it, and you know, let's be productive for what we got to do from a technique, fundamental standpoint.
How much has the defense adjusted to Antone's presence back, given that he hasn't played in 7 games?
You know, it is an adjustment. You know, you got Kendall's roles that's got to change. You got Brandon roles that's got to change. But, you know, you communicate with everybody, and I think, you know, we've had good chemistry about it, but it does change it.
You worry about any bruised egos?
No, not really. You know, you try to, like I say, you have a talk with each one of those guys and try to put it in perspective, and you know, you got to move on, because in the end we're all in it to win games and play well as a secondary to help the team win.
What's the biggest question you have in terms of what he can and can't do? Is there something you're going to be looking for?
You know, you probably won't really find out to a full speed on game day. You know, you can simulate tackling, you can simulate things in practice, but until he's out there and he's got to come for the first time and really tackle somebody, he hasn't done that. He won't do that at that speed, at that pace. So, you know, that'll be interesting to see where he's at from a tackling standpoint. And then you got to play the ball in the air. You know, he's doing it in one-on-ones and stuff like that, but the game's still going to be a little different. So just anxious to see how he's going to react once he's put in those situations.
Duke is an offense that's kind of predicated on taking some shots down the field.
No question.
How much of a concern is that? What do they do well in that part of the game?
I tell you what, cut Cliff's attack. You know, really like what he does. He's going to attack us, and you know, we're going to have to play the ball when it's in the air. You know, we don't do anything different. We gotta, you know, if Tone was playing or not, we're going to play how we play. They're going to do what they do. We just got to be able to play ball. He's going to have to play ball.
You guys haven't given up a ton of deep passes this year. Do you feel pretty good about that part of the secondary?
Yeah, I feel good. Guys have played well. I feel confident with what we're going to do. But again, they're going to attack. They're going to do what they do, and you know, that's what makes it fun.
You might have already answered this, but Faison, what's his status? How concerned are you about him?
You know, he didn't practice today at all. You know, so I'll be more concerned if he doesn't practice tomorrow. Right now, it's Tuesday. Hopefully, mentally, he's getting his reps in practice. That's all I could tell him to do there, get mental reps, and you know, I'll know more tomorrow.
Did you see the play where he got the concussion on Sunday?
Yeah.
What happened on it?
Oh, he was playing man coverage on the tight end, intercepted the ball. Really was a pretty heck of a play, and it just, I guess he must have, when he fell down and they were tussling for the ball, he must have hit his head in that deal.
Has Kyle had the kind of season that you thought he could have for coming in?
Yeah, he has. You know, I felt Kyle felt that he didn't have as consistent of a season as he would have liked to have last year. So ever since January, his main purpose was to be consistent, and he prepared that way. And I'm very pleased with how he's played up to this point.
I know Kendall's kind of a guy that pretty high IQ player, but is Kyle showed him the ropes pretty much since he got here?
It has to help. It's no question. Having his older brother Vinny and Kyle, and they've played in his system and just be able to talk football, because he's as sharp as a freshman as I've ever been around. Just even today, repping him, you know, from corner to nickel. I mean, it's just kind of impressive, because you had Brandon and Kyle out, so you rep him some at boundary corner, which he hadn't done in forever. And he's still has a pretty good understanding of what's going on.
Are they pretty similar in how they play, or are they different styles on the field?
Kyle and Kendall.
Kyle and Kendall, yeah.
No, they're similar. They're similar, you know.
You know, when you came into this season, I remember at the beginning of August, you thought Antone would maybe be back by Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. Could you have imagined it working out as well as it has with how long he's been out? You know, I mean, you really haven't noticed it?
Right. No, I wouldn't imagine it's gone as well as it had, because if you're planning on playing true freshmen or even redshirt freshmen or sophomores with inexperience, you're thinking, man, this is going to have some rise along the way, and then you'll get better. But the guys have really stepped up and been consistent, and I've been very pleased with that, obviously.